Hello everyone and welcome. Come on in. Hope you're having an amazing day, amazing start to your week, amazing beginning of the month. Whenever you're watching this and seeing this, hope that you're feeling blessed, prosperous, and grounded within self. My name is Latisse. I do readings on here, as well as you can book readings with me down below. So let's check out my podcast. Oh, as well as offer donations if you would like as well. With that being said, done, and cultivated. Let's go ahead and get into this reading. I was called for a couple of days. I wouldn't say I was necessarily putting it off because when I would start a reading, I would feel drawn or called to a different deck. But today, it's like prominent for this deck, and I felt called to the animal deck. And I've been seeing like a lot of animals in my dreams. I've always seen animals in my dreams, but it's like they're ramping up now. And then I recently almost had a dream, almost like the show Zoo, where the animals were evolving at a rapid rate to deal with us humans, to allow themselves to actually not only just survive but thrive. And kind of had a dream like that recently, and I feel like a lot of people are getting back to. I always like to say, when people use "you're acting like an animal" as an insult, it's like, is it really an insult for an animal to act within its nature? So what you're saying is you're acting within your nature. You're acting within alignment, right? You're acting like yourself. um, you are acting and you're going cold. So it's like you're calling me. I don't think I've ever been told I'm not like an animal. Yeah, when I was little, aunties and older cousins watching stuff like, I acting like some goddamn animals. Um, I think of the rabbit animals. It was a lot worse, but it's called to the animal deck, and I feel like you're getting back to yourself, but in a way that feels kind of like how when it's about to rain, you'll see a lot of ants and birds, like almost like in the morning, right before it rains, or even before it rains at night, whatever. You'll see them getting prepared. There goes an animal right there. Ruhi has been moving today. You will try to escape, so let's just get moving. Close that because he was trying to escape out that window. um, and it's just you're acting yourself. Like even with him wanting to go outside, it's in his nature. Cats are outdoor creatures. Apparently, they're not even really close to being domesticated. They just decide to let us domesticate, whatever. But you're acting like yourself, right? Um, it's like being surprised that a dog is barking, or it's like these are things within this person's nature. And instead of things coming to you like a second nature, it's your first nature. It's innate. And so I feel like that's currently where you're being called to, where it may look weird or off or animalistic, I guess, in their negative mindset of thinking, don't you dare do that. But it's you. It's who you are. It's your energy. But like I said, you see birds, ants, and like animals preparing for the rain. They're sensing, they're so connected with earth and nature that they're noticing the change and the wind and altitude and all this stuff. They're able to recognize that, right? So when you're acting in your nature, when you're acting in that sense of itself, that is you coming back to you. And so even today when I was outside with Ruby, because yes, he does go outside, he gets his outside. Don't you dare mess with that fire. Him and all my cat babies love messing with fire. But that's what I do for getting Leos. Um, are you done? And so it's this energy where you're setting that up. So even today when we were outside, there was moths everywhere, and I love moths. Probably not as much as I love butterflies. Um, but there was a moth, and they were just flying around and came around us. And then I would just kind of clean out the energy. I love to clear out the energy when I'm outside around myself. And I didn't even know that the moth had landed on me until it flew away. I was like, no. And so that can be a sign because moths are, I like to call them the crows of the light world because they are messengers, right? They provide messages. They operate essentially at night. They're able to be drawn to the light and also like this. Yeah. It's a different process. So I like to call them the crows of the butterfly world or the moth world. So it's a message, an in between space of energy happening here where you're getting that. So let's get into what this week is providing for you. What are you getting back to you? You know, what is your overall animal energy that you are embodying in itself and taking on? Because I feel like this is working in your betterment, in your good. I also want to point out because I like to light your candle before you even start your reading, obviously, so it's lit. But I like to light it at least like 15 to 20 minutes so I can add it into the channel message so the spirit knows this candle is for the collective. Anything I get in between that time is for the collective. And so as I was just preparing the cards and shuffling the cards and things of that sort, now neither on my radar to shuffle the cards for myself, do my own reading, da 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 da. The candle didn't go out, but as soon as I started getting your energy ready to shuffle the cards, the flame went out, right? And then, so we're thinking about that in moths to a flame, messages, information come in. It's an understanding that some people will try to dim that light so that way you don't get that message, you don't get that enlightenment, you don't get that truth, right? You don't get that understanding, you don't get that acknowledgement, you don't get that recognition. It's like somebody wants to put out the fire. So it could be like trying to hinder your dreams. It's like, or I'm hearing the spark within yourself feel like has been put out. But I added on some extra protection herbs on there for you and things of that sort, and I relit it. Still lit right now, so that can be a sign of people will try to, like I said, like you're an animal. It's like I'm acting within myself. I am being myself. I'm acting out. I am me, right? So that can be a recognition that somebody has been trying to, or even yourself, with I'm hearing your thoughts and feeling like maybe you shouldn't be that way. But let's go ahead and get your overall animal energy here. Wow, 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 wow. You guys have a lot of fire energy coming in here. Again, that makes sense. Like I said, the moth to the flame. We got some earth and some water in here. Yeah. With this bear energy, I've been seeing a lot of bears lately. There was a bear in my dream last night. I love bears. But we have the bear, which is earth energy, coming out of something, coming out of hibernation. We are currently in springtime when I'm recording this. But whenever you're finding it and seeing it, baby, you got it. It's good. It's there. But you're coming out of this hibernation, right? You're coming out of, because I always like to point out, even when they hibernate, they don't sleep the entire winter. They wake up every now and again. They're kind of like in this in between groggy phase. They eat a little bit more food to fuel them and things of that sort. And then they go back to sleep. um, and so, even with this hibernation, I feel like you, even when you were in the sleeping period, you will wake up and you would feed yourself, right? Whether that's, there was another fucking moth. So many moths around here. Bro, moths in the morning, it's moths, baby, in the morning, honey. Um, so you could have been, I'm hearing setting up stronger boundaries. I'm hearing someone saying no a whole lot more. I'm hearing someone, um, Like I'm don't like making calls like customer service, but you've been doing that more. It's like you've been taking steps to advocate for yourself, to be yourself, and to recognize yourself. And so, with this coming out, you are stepping into more of an awakening, more of a healing energy, more of a grounded energy, right? And knowing a sense of self and recognizing that. And so, with you coming out of this sleep, this slumber, you getting the oyster right after, right? And I feel like with this water energy coming in here, the oyster energy, it is allowing you to see oysters clean, right? Oysters. I'm thinking of the right thing. Oysters clean. They are the filters of the ocean, filters of the water. And so, with this being right across from the bear, something that you're feeding yourself, you're waking up, you are starting anew. It feels maybe a little bit different, a little bit uncomfortable, things of that sort, because you are waking up again. Now you know, are not just in this in between kind of groggy space. So I feel like things are clearing up for you now. I'm hearing you're getting more opportunities, whether you want those opportunities or not. It's showing that you are being seen, you are being recognized, you are being noticed. And so with this oyster coming in here across this bear, is like not only am I being noticed, but I get to make a decision of what I choose to create in my life and do in my life and have. And so you're pushing your own narrative, you're pushing your own dialogue. And kind of like Animals off a Zoo, that is a really fucking good show. They had to evolve, like really evolve. Like I think it was a bear in the zoo. It was a bear in the zoo, and his skin became so thick, like armor, and like they couldn't sedate him. Like it was just crazy. Then the lions were like coming together, all the male lions, all as in one pack or herd, tribe. What the fuck are lions called when they come together? Pack, wolf pack, lion herd, pride. Which I don't know, but the animals, like even the birds, were going after like the cell phone towers and stuff like that. They were blocking out solar panels. Like I feel like with this energy, you are filtering out what no longer worked for you, what no longer is working for you. You have coming out and awoken out of the stage of lack, of fear, of not being yourself, of received eyes. I'm always a self love, self preservation, self guided person. Like, love yourself first. Love yourself always. Nobody, and I feel like you are recognizing nobody does know me better than me. And not in a way of nobody's ever going to understand me, but in a way like I get to understand myself. I get to flip my own pages because I'm writing them. And if I decide to share that with you, that's it. But with this oyster energy, you're filtering out what no longer matters to you. And you're creating something cleaner, more purified in a sense of self. You're acting more animalistic. You're acting more within nature. You're being yourself. So we have this cheetah energy. I forgot what the cheetah means. I am going to pull it up. Um, I'm not going to lie. I'm okay with that. I don't really get the cheetah card that much. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull that up because, baby, if I can't reference a book, the fuck is it here for? We have solar force, action, achievement, and masculine energy. They sign from the inside out. It says the energy within the cheetah is palpable to others and they naturally attract an audience to bear. Oh my God. Bitch, to bear with. And it's right under the bear too. Bears are in witness to their remarkable achievements. Purpose and passion are the best fuel for this forward momentum. So if you're lacking in those areas, reconnect to the why before you start running. And with the fact that this being under the bear, and I said you're coming out of this hibernation stage, you are awakening to self and who you are. And it's saying, literally with the cheetah energy, connect with who you are, your purpose and passion before you run. And that's why I said, Why are you doing this? Some people get to, I literally hilariously made a video, I think the other day, just a little short talking about some people be like, I don't know how you can do that. I can't do that. Or I don't know why you didn't accept that. That was a perfect opportunity. I wouldn't. People will do and say a lot of things that align with them, but it doesn't align with you. And so I feel like you're going more into this energy of what does align with me, and you're recognizing those moments even in the hibernation mode. So it could have been hermit mode, it could have been you kind of been a little more recluse, you're not sharing as much, or you doing dark night of the shadows work energy, going into self, or just I'm hearing like random shocks of like past memories coming up, a lot of Six of Cups energy coming in here. And it's just this energy where you're like, before I truly get started, before I truly wake up, shake all this sleep off me, the old doubts, the old patterns. I'm getting this almost like grieving energy happening here. So you could be looking at old pictures of yourself. You could be looking at old plans that you had, or just this what you had started beforehand, going back to the drawing board. I'm hearing look in the back of your closet under the box or totem. You know what I'm saying? Like a blue box. I feel like you've been in a closet, and not for my gaze. Not that type of closet, because what the fuck does that mean? That's such a homophobic term anyway. Um, but you know how I'm seeing somebody's mom be like, go get this out of the closet. And you're like, okay, where is it? And you go in the closet. You're like, but I don't know where anything is in this closet. Like, I don't know. And so you feel kind of lost in trying to discover whatever you were told to look after. Like, go find. And I feel like you are the mother in this instance. Like, go do this. Let's go do this. And now you kind of got lost in the search. I'm seeing, what is that? I know I'm all over the place. I'm so sorry. Spirit, can we slow down on giving these messages the way that we giving these messages, please? Thank you. But I'm seeing Barbie's Dream House, right? The cartoon show. And she has a big ass closet. Like, big ass closet to the point that her friends got lost. They were stuck. I had no idea how to get out of the fucking closet. And I feel like they started there for just one purpose, but then they got distracted by everything within the closet. And so distractions can also be a sign as well. But with this cheetah energy coming in and rediscovering your purpose before you run, and it's saying momentum. Bear energy is also the first card, the first card in this deck, the first energy. And so with the bear coming out of hibernation, being the awakening, is like, what is going to lead you in this momentum, right? And it's you. And it's crazy, this kind of answered a question I had for Spirit the other day too. So I say we all in here together. And so it's rediscovering. Sometimes you ask, like, is this really my purpose? Is this really what I'm supposed to be doing? Is this where am I really where I'm supposed to be at right now? Is what's and sometimes it's okay to question it, because if you're not questioning it, you haven't grown. I feel like if you're not questioning, like, oh yeah, da, da, da. Sometimes I question, like, is this right? Like, because I'm noticing progress, I'm noticing a change, but I'm not maybe feeling it, or I'm feeling a change, I'm feeling a difference, but I'm not noticing it. And so once you come back to self, you recognize, like, yes, this is what I'm supposed to do. Yes, this is for me. Yes, this is what I'm deserving of. Yes, exactly. Like, this is what I'm here for. So with this bear energy coming in on top of the cheetah, it's like before you fully come out of that cave, that closet, from solely feeding yourself things that allow you to live and thrive and be present and within yourself. Because the bear is also about coming out of that uncomfortable. You've been asleep for some time, coming out of that uncomfortableness. And so you're gathering that momentum. Now we have the fire ant energy right under the oyster energy. Okay. And so again, oysters are filtering out energy. Fire ant energy is about feeling a little bit too hot, feeling a lot of pressure, feeling like I need to protect myself, I need this thing, I need to, come at it. And so with this fire ant energy is about patience as things are clearing. Because the fire, it still has the passion, it still has the drive, it's still doing what it needs to do, but also has the protection energy of it. So it's like when you need, and that's crazy, I literally said I had to add what? Extra protection, because what? It seemed like the flame had went out. And so once I cleared out the energy, added on those things, sometimes it's taking a moment, because fire and energy is about taking a moment before you reach a point where you feel like you have to attack or you get overheated. Like I said, you are getting more comfortable with your body. Your body has been at a place of grieving. Your body has been in a place of rediscovery. Your body has been in a place of evolving. And so the oyster energy is allowing you to clear out things that possibly got a little bit too much heat, too much pressure. And it truly allows for a sense of focus in your life. Because with both of the fire cards being on the bottom, that is your solid base and foundation, is your passion, is your love for self, is your discovery of self. You are your own nutrients. And so a lot of things are going to be cleared out. I'm here to just go slow this week. I'm hearing, even if you do one thing in your passion and purpose, whether that's, I'm hearing picking out a canvas to paint. You ain't even got to paint the canvas yet. You know, for some of you, if you're coming out of that depression, out of that anxiety, sometimes it's just turning on the water. Sometimes it's moving from the bed to the couch. For others, it's crossing off one thing off of your errand list. You ain't got to do all the errands at once. It's really taking so because you are evolving to a different body than what it was beforehand. And it's filtering out what no longer works. Because you were in this water in this moment with the oyster, and it's like it's not working now. And so now it's time to have this shine, have this energy for yourself. And allow that to invoke, but you don't need to rush anything. It is in your nature. Like an animal, it is in your nature. I recently found out, there goes a doggy. I recently found out that bees can unsting you. I didn't know that. And so what they do, and this is a sign because I've been seeing a lot of spirals lately, so that can be a sign, because spiral, depending on how it starts, if it's going this way or if it's going this way, it's either rebirth or spiritual transformation, depending on which way it goes. And so I feel like you feel like your life has kind of been spiraling, but it's just a cultivation. But back on the bee, their stingers are like corkscrews. That's why essentially you can't always just pull them out, you know? But they're like corkscrews. And so if they sting you, because what happens is if they leave the stinger, that's when they die essentially. But if they sting you, they can literally retwist their body like almost in a circle, like a spiral, and unscrew the stinger. And I feel like that is a sign for some of you that feel like maybe you made a decision that was rash. Maybe you quit something. You're like, I'm just, fuck it. I'm not doing this anymore. Or you decided to bet on yourself. A lot of like betting on like, I'm just going to do it. They want you, like this sheet and this fire energy, before you start running again, center yourself, clear out what you don't need. Because I feel like even if you did make that rash decision, you can unwind it and come out of it. And recognize, okay, I almost did something that was extremely detrimental, but I can always come back from it. I can always heal from it. I can always do what I need to do. Because when I did that thing, it was for my protection. It was for the longevity of a legacy, of a lineage. When I went into hibernation, Ashe was to preserve my energy. Ashe, a lot of confirmation burps coming up, to preserve my energy, my time, my presence, my essence. I'm hearing parallel play. Some people like to parallel play with your energy and presence, but you don't really get much in return. So you're also working on that as well. Your community is coming in, though. You just want to make sure that you're grounded in a community that doesn't feel like it's overheating you. Because now I'm even seeing the video that I've seen. Bees can be significant as well for you. Bees are about community, possibly need a vacation, because in this book it's like taking a vacation, taking a break from all the hard work, from all of those things. But I'm seeing that a video of a bee, like a bunch of bees killing a hornet because they come and surround the hornet, or any, they can honestly do it with any animal, and they start raising the body temperature and cooking the animal from the inside out. And so I feel like a lot of people have underestimated you when you were in your bear energy, when you were in your hibernation energy before you wake. You could have been struggling. You could have had a long period. It could have been 1 to 2 years. You could have been, you know, working on a lot of things. It's like something within your bear energy that you were underestimated in. And that's why I keep seeing the zoo energy. Because people were mapping the patterns like bears don't do this. They were like lions don't do this. Horses don't do this. They were used to a pattern. They were used to a structure. But they don't know that even in hibernation, the bear is not always asleep. You were waking up every now and again, getting signs, getting synchronicities, getting activations, getting change. You were doing all that. But all they see was you sleeping in that goddamn cave. All they see is you possibly struggling or dealing with like they see all these things, but they don't see that. And then when you woke up, you realize, hold on, some things are kind of messy in here. Tap into that oyster energy. They're telling me to go to the oyster page. I'm here, you spirit. Let's see why they want us to go to the oyster page. Yeah, that's hilarious. Oyster is patient, secret keeper, and hiding inner treasure. And that's right on top of the ant energy. It says, when you are in balance, you feel blessed, generous, and masterful. So share something. It says this card appears when it's important to reveal your inner treasures. Yeah, they were mapping a pattern that no longer works with you. They were mapping something. I remember when I would change my mind, like, I don't really like that. They're like, my siblings were like, you used to do this. I don't like that anymore, though. And I feel like people have to get comfortable with you being able to change your mind, change your energy, change your plans, change your thoughts. Because you're recognizing, before I take off running, before I really truly get involved, before I really dive in it, before I really do, I need to know that I can better myself, trust myself, but also, no matter what happens, I'm ready to go full force. And even leading back to distractions, let me put it like this. You focus on something over here. Something over here is happening. You look over here, you're not distracted, right? It's happening, something's still happening over here. You're looking at something over here, something's happening over here, but you're not looking over here. You're like, I'm not looking over here, I'm not looking at the left side, I'm focused on the right side, I'm doing what I need to do. Doesn't mean that the left side still is not moving, still is not doing anything. You're just not distracted by it. That's not where your focus and intention is. And so I feel like the clutter, the extra noise, the doubt, all this stuff is over here, but you're not paying attention to it because it's a distraction. It's still happening. It's still going on. That's when people are like, they're distracting us from this and this by doing this. And I was like, baby, those things are still happening. It's just what currently has your focus is this. Nobody's distracting you by using something else. All these things are all happening all at once. You're just focused on whatever you want to be focused on. And I feel like you're realizing that now. I'm going to focus on what I need to focus on, because the bear energy was focusing on your body. So you could have been exercising, like I said, journaling, just really feeding yourself and really coming into that. So this week, just get some information on the outcome for this week with you tapping into these energies of just, it really, at this moment, I'm going to be honest, as honest can be and clear as clear can be, it's fuck them energy. And not in a way of like, I ain't even going to overspend it, because bitch, however you take it is however the fuck you going to take it. Fuck them energy. I'm seeing those little like reels or shorts, and people like, oh no, I can't come out. I'm real busy today, or I just got off work. I can't. No, I know I'm going home. Whatever. And it's like, no, I can't come out today. I got plans, and the plans could just be them chilling in their house or doing whatever. But those are still their plans. It's still what they want to do. You know what I'm saying? So we're like, I'm busy. People's busy are, and they're gonna start realizing that you are busy in a different type of way. I'm hearing the Steven Universe strong. I want to show you how to be strong in the real way. And I feel like you can show people what true resilience looks like, true compassion looks like, true expression of self looks like, true patience looks like, understanding looks like. You're going to embody that because the pattern that they have been mapping no longer applies to you. And that's why I always say, never expect anything from me but me. Never expect anything from me but me. Because at the end, beginning, and middle of the day, I'm always going to be myself. I can't be anything else. I'm going to be me. So never expect anything from me but me. And that also helps you to not take things personally. It also helps you not project and get hurt by being like, I would never do that. Why would they do that? Because it's them. The same with the opportunities. I can't believe that y'all didn't take that deal. I would have took that deal. That's you. You're recognizing those things. And so with this, you are recognizing, in order to get my momentum, my plan. It reminds me of Kevin on stage when he was in comedy. And he was telling me, listen, like, hey, I gotta stay after. Like, I gotta talk. Like, this is where the true work happens. The true network happens. Like, she's like, you not staying out till 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. We got kids. You got home. Come home. If this is your true purpose in calling, which I believe it is, you do not need to do it this way. God and yourself will create another path for you to look at. He didn't have to do all that. And so you are recognizing, I don't need to take the path that other people have curated for themselves and that they decided to fall into. It doesn't work for me. It's not going to work for me. And so it could have been you started that way. I'm seeing that B energy again, and you're like unscrewing yourself. Or you're made a decision that you felt like was rash very quick, and it's like, no, this was in my nature. Yeah, we got feelings do not equate facts. That's why I said you are grieving an old self. You are healing. You are releasing this energy. Feelings do not equate facts. And so you're walking in the energy because you also have happening quickly. And that's why they want you to get in recognition and progress with self. Something this week is happening. And so they don't want you to take things personally. They don't want you to get, I'm hearing, too emotionally invested in everything. Work on your own evolution right now. Work on your own progress. Work on your own plans. Work on your own growth right now. We got the caterpillar becomes the butterfly. Again, changing, evolving. I'm hearing something happen to you in your bear moment that almost like felt like it twisted your hand or like twisted your energy. Something happened that was so out of your control, and it happened to you. Just to be honest, it happened to you, and it was so out of your control that's why you also went into that hibernation bear energy of slowly feeding yourself things that truly nourished you. It could be around supporting friends and family. It could just be crying. It could just be, like I said, in that mode of like, I don't feel like opening anything right now. No windows. I just feel like laying here for a little bit and really feeling self. And so I feel like something happened that was so out of your control that did happen to you. But that bear energy allows you to come back to self, to reclaim your energy. Yeah, because we got poor spiritual hygiene. You need more than sage. That's right on top of the caterpillar. So you're in a new body. You're in a new energy. You're in a new mindset. And so I'm hearing your old spiritual practices or thoughts won't work because that was created in a lack of scarcity or worry or doubt or feeling things last minute. It's almost like the way that I do things. I'm not gonna get into much of my spiritual practices, but the way I do things, I realize, and then I hear other people like, "Don't do this if you do this," and I'm like, "What? Huh?" So I feel like you're working with recognizing sometimes poor spiritual hygiene comes from practices that you weren't supposed to be doing. That don't work for you, that you just aren't supposed to be doing. And so that can also lead to poor spirituality. It's like, why are you doing that? You ain't have to do that. You can do it this way. You can do set it up this way. You can do it this way. You know what I'm saying? So you are recognizing that. Let's see if that's coming in. Ooh. We got dead end, but I'm going to get a clarification for that because that's a little confusing. We have I love you for free and daddy issues coming in here. I'm going to get some clarifications for those as well because that's a little confusing. Okay, we got the clarification. They said pull from the top for the dead end. There's a secret. There's a secret. Can you keep it safe? This one you'll save. Better lock it in your pocket. Taking this one to the grave. If I show you, then I know you will tell what I said. Finish it with me. 'Cause two can't keep a secret if one of them is dead. And I feel like the dead end is your old self. You have killed your old self. And like I said, a lot of you possibly were doing dark night of the soul, some journaling work, going to therapy, just, yoga, like just meditation. And there was something inside of you that kept leading you to a dead end. And when you removed, evolved, killed, rebirth, whatever your old self, your old past, your energies, that oyster energy, cleansing energy, awakening energy, allowing yourself to be revived, that energy of coming into that, recognize that there was a secret within yourself. I'm hearing you. Pandora's box was you. So you discovered a secret and energy about yourself that is, it's almost like when I discovered that anytime I used to ask for help, I'm like, I can do this, I can do it. It was immediate like that because that's how I grew up. Like if I want to do something, you're going out, I'm like, I'm not just gonna do anything for free. So that is just gonna be that could be a sign for someone. I'm not just gonna do I'm gonna need something in return, I'm gonna need an exchange. I'm not just gonna do it just because. And so I always feel like, oh, do you mind helping me with this? And it can be something. I'll do this. I'll pay for. It always had to come with me giving of self, and I have to be around people that's like, no, you don't have to. That's okay, baby. That's fine. And so it could have been something like that where I was doing it because of how I was raised, where my worth was only equated to how much I can give and provide, and not just me being me. So that released the dead end for me. If that relates to anybody, and that was my secret of realizing I'm doing things because I feel like if I don't do these things, they won't see me as viable, as worthy, as loving or lovable, excuse me, or as somebody that's worth care, considerate, like any of these things. If I'm not providing them with a service or money or winning my back, anything. And so you recognize that, and so you were able to clear that up within and for self. So happy and proud of you for that, baby. Whatever that was. We got for this 555. The only constant is change. Sometimes I don't. I'm so sorry. I don't finish asking the question out loud because I finish it in my head. That's just how connected a bitch is. So I was asking further clarification on happening quickly. We got 555 coming in here. The only constant is change. I always say life, death, and change are things that you know will always happen. If you are alive right now, baby, you will soon die. Not like some a lot of people get what the fuck I'm saying, but you would die. That's inevitable. If I'm alive, I'm going to die. Those things are inevitable. But even in those times of me being alive, I'm constantly changing. Those are three things that we can always rely on: life, death, and change. I know that's good. And you know the other way. So pulled another card, 999, transformative ending. So you're seeing a lot of things, and that's why with this fire energy being here, it's like these things are happening rapidly, and we want you to recognize that it will not look the same, feel the same, taste the same, be the same, move the same, because you are not the same. I'm seeing like how kids, they have those little blocks and it has like the different shapes, and there's like a box that they have to put it in to match with the shapes, and it's like the square is not going to fit in the star. It just isn't. It can't even change itself because it's that structure. And I feel like for you, I'm hearing, I'm just going to lift the lid off the box, because it's almost like you could have been a very advanced child or a very advanced person. Like, you know shit. You just be knowing shit. That cheaty energy, you just be knowing shit. And so you're like, I'm just going to lift the lid and put everything in there. And it's like, somebody's like, no, you have to go. The square has to go through this. It's like, baby, I don't. I ain't got to do all that. So, moving with that transformative energy, it's like, I'm recognizing that motion, that energy of recognizing that. Yeah, we got ancestors, please. Another 9, completion, and ending. Let's get into this I love you for free and daddy issues. Sorry. I'm catching. You catching on guard sometimes. Well, yeah, stop looking for love in the trash. Stop looking for love in the trash. And like I said, it could have been from that. That was from my mother wounds and childhood wounds, and I had to work on that. And I was just, but it's like you have to recognize you have to love yourself for free, and not because of what you feel like other people are going to give you because of the love. Start loving yourself, loving others that also are able to reciprocate that, and not in a way of like, let me give you, but just in a way of conversation, energy. Like I said, some people just like to have parallel play because they like your presence. They just like your presence. They like your energy. They don't need anything from you but you, and that's what you're going to be around. So you could have had a dad that was there, but they just like, I'm the provider of the house, and that's all they did is provide for the house, but no emotional security. You couldn't go to them when you were crying, no physical help. You weren't able to really release, and like, so there were certain things, or your dad just could not have been there, just a fucking deadbeat. I like to call mine a sperm donor, because that's all that you did is donated your sperm. And so I'm realizing even in those things, it's like, I don't know. No. So you're working on not looking for love in the trash based off of past things or issues that you possibly had. Yeah, belongs to the streets. All right. Anything else that you want the collective to know in this regard for this week? Anything that I need to say that has not been said, please allow it to speak through my mouth for the collective Hashem. Nosy. Big dick energy. That's how you're going to be walking around. I always like to say, those that have it, they don't need to say anything. Right? Whether you got big, like these, they're there, baby. Okay? They're there. But I don't need to say that. You can just see it. You get what I'm saying? And that's how people with big dick energy walk. Big click energy walk. Okay? I don't need to say it. It's just there. I know it. I embody what I have. I embody who I am. It's almost animalistic nature. It's not second nature. It is my first nature. This is in tune. This is innate. This is who I am. So that's how you're walking around. That's how you're going to be presenting yourself. And this energy is like, bitch, I got it. And I'm not just swinging it. I'm using it. So you're walking into meetings and denying deals that are not worthy of your time. You are leaving relationships that have not been really presently there. You are setting out goals and tasks and accomplishing. Like, you are walking and embodying this energy. What's this for? Why are we getting this? Something you asked for. Hilarious. Something you asked for, you're kind of possibly worried about getting. or you aren't asking for more because you feel like you won't get it. Because we have ask for more, you deserve it, and calm your tits. But on top of that, we have Casper the scared ass ghost, and you need an orgasm. It's like you need uh I always think of the orgasm as a sacral release, sacral chakra release. That is about abundant pleasure, knowing self, self expression, vulnerability, emotional capabilities. Feelings do not equate facts. So maybe we need to release those feelings, those emotions in a way. And does not have to be sexual because I have asexual people, I have people that are celibate or abstinent, so it doesn't have to be sexual. You can go eat some food that makes you feel real good, go to a concert, go dancing, go creating art that makes you feel pleasurable. Orgasms is about pleasure in and throughout the body. The big O. But you're scared almost to experience that pleasure. So that's what also Spirit is working on with you as well. And that's Casper the Scared Ghost is on top of a secret. So that if it has not been revealed, it will be revealed soon. Okay? And then so ask for more and calm yourself when you ask for it. That's right on top of the ant energy. Sometimes you're like, okay, I gotta do this thing, I gotta do this. And sometimes you just have to be you. That's it. I think they called it in the show Zoo the Defiant Eye. And like I said, with the child, it's like, I'm not going to put all these boxes in here individually. I'm just going to lift it up. I don't need to do all that. I'm just going to, and it's like, oh shit. And now it's like, okay, now we got to learn a different way. Because this is supposed to help you with your fine motor skills. So it's tuning in on those things. Ask for more, you deserve it. You've just been around people that belong to the streets, that are trash, that ain't shit, or doing spiritual practices that make you feel like it's not working. So, with that change, with that evolvement, with that clearing, there's going to be rapid movement once that happens. And it's happening quickly because the only constant is change, and you're at an end right now. Okay? Because if there's an ending, there's a what? Exactly. Any other final messages, cards, understandings, informations? I'm hearing sister. We got a new career path. I'm hearing your sister put in a good word for you. I'm seeing Asian countries. Asian countries. Bitch, I suck at geography. I'm seeing Asian places. Is it? Because Asia is a country. Shut up, Sierra. Just shut up. Suck at geography. But I'm seeing like Thailand, the Philippines, small like travel or moving. I'm seeing a temple. I'm hearing you were called by someone or something, and you felt like you weren't worthy of working with this energy, or you feel like it's too taboo to work with this energy. I'm here. Stop fucking ignoring me, and it's your ancestors. Which is funny because I almost picked up shut up and listen. But yeah, I'm hearing stop fucking ignoring me. We got mental health check coming off top as well. I know I was closing it out, but yeah. I'm hearing, is it procrastination or revitalization? That was kind of corny, Spirit, I ain't gonna lie, but you know. It's something in this mist. Yeah, that oyster energy is gonna come in strong and clear out a lot of things. Because when you awaken, you notice a bear. You see it. I don't know why I'm thinking, but I immediately thought, looking at these cards, like, can a cheetah outrun a bear? So you possibly have a lot of like different thoughts. Follow those thoughts. Because sometimes I looked up the other day and I put it in a short, like ingrained. And I looked up, is it ingrained, EN, or ingrained, IN for what I'm trying to do? And I looked up and they are, one is a verb of the actual word. And I was like, oh shit. And it's like almost this. So it's like, if you feel like you should know something, but you don't know it, go research. Go try it out, go experience it. You ain't gotta know everything, baby, because you don't know what the fuck you don't know until you don't know it. You don't know what the fuck you do know until you know. You know what I'm saying? So calm yourself, ask for more, do your own spiritual practices, focus on your energy and your emotions, observe, do not absorb, be ready for things to ramp up, be ready for things to end. It's funny because I put dead end on this side, poor energy, spiritual hygiene, caterpillar, mental health check, all this on this side, and on this side it's ask for more, you deserve it, your ancestors are pleased, talk to your ancestors hilariously, please, ending, happening quickly, all these things. I'm hearing Saturn return when I'm looking at these daddy issues. So you could be going through Saturn return or you just got out of one. I'm hearing 30. I'm hearing Jesus 33. Anytime a joke, Sagittarius has been coming up strong throughout these readings. I'm not gonna lie. So look up where your Jupiter placement is. Yeah. Look at where your Jupiter placement is, what placements you have in that. Because I immediately heard Michael Jordan, when you're bald. Spirit is funny. But also with this belongs to the streets and stop looking for love in the trash, you have to recognize in relationships, whether that's platonic, romantic, family, am I experiencing my love and what I'm providing in this relationship and my own projections of possible potential or past energy that I was experiencing with this person, and now I'm just here? Is that why I'm still looking for love in the trash? Because I'm trying to see something in somebody that they're not living, they're not experiencing, they're not doing? Am I projecting who I am, what I do? And that's why I also said, it's like, I would do that, I want to do that. That's you. Also be wary of people that lie for a narrative that puts them in a different light or energy, because they haven't done the bare energy. They haven't went into those moments where they just got to hibernate, or they just got to really meditate and go into selves. I'm hearing be cautious of a story told about you from a third party. I don't know what that's about. Let's see if I can get some better. I'm about to wrap it up because we getting there. I'm about to wrap it up, Spirit. Spirit not even something in this, but I'm about to wrap it up. Hilariously, elk energy right at the bottom as soon as I shuffled. And that's father energy, Saturn energy. So definitely something with Saturn. Take a look into that placement as well. But what is... What is the energy of this? Why should they listen to you? It's funny because I wanted to do an ancestor reading now. Can't stand people that just... Ooh. Some people they'll change for a little bit just to kind of ease you in so they can go back. I don't know. It's also giving that energy, but what's with that? We'll go into that. We got going in circles. Final verdict. Choose wisely. And it's crazy because we were talking about the spiral with the bee, but also even when a butterfly or a moth is going into the cocoon or chrysalis, they have to spin it into a circle. And it looks like things are spiraling. So I feel like you feel like you're spiraling upward or downward or whatever. And right now you're just kind of going in a circle. It's weird. It's like nobody wants you to change. Wants you to go into that spiral mode. Because people feel like things are spiraling out of control. That is just so easy for people to say. And it's like, why are things spiraling out of control when the only constant is change? Things are just changing in my life, not in the way that you were expecting. So you need to change the way that you're thinking about things. Because the way that you're thinking about things is causing you to go in a circle and not actually allow that even a drill going into the earth or planting something or screwing something into a wall, it has to spin almost like a spiral, and it spirals out. It has a design, it has different grooves. So you have to make a decision. Am I going to keep going in circles and dealing with this person, this energy, this job, this am questioning a purpose, or am I going to choose myself? Because right under going in circles, we have secret revealed. Remember, I said there's going to be something revealed that has been blocking you, something that has been holding you back, whether that's practices spiritually, whether that's people, whether that's old trauma, but that's coming up with the awakening. Yes, shadow work needed. That bear energy coming in here. Under the final verdict, choose wisely. You have potential only matters in someone acts on it. Like I said, sometimes you live off the potential of a person, of what they could be. Anybody can be anything. You can look at anybody like you can be so good. Anybody can. Anybody can. If change is inevitable and it's always going to happen, anybody can change any moment in time. But I feel like people that choose not to change and stay the same, that is crazy. Because even when you're dead, your body changes. So baby, even if around dead, it starts to decompose and change it, and you still alive and you still in the same bullshit you've been on for 5 fucking years, how the fuck is you ain't changed? And so you recognize I'm going off the potential, I'm going off of possibly what you could be or what I'm seeing in you. And so now I'm projecting my energy of my change, my energy onto you in this relationship, and that's all that I'm experiencing. But I'm also feeling drained, I'm also feeling lopsided, I'm also feel like I'm not getting something because the person isn't matching that. The job isn't matching that. The career isn't watching that. The environment isn't matching that. And so you have to choose. We have you're not ready. Why are they not ready? Fact check. Feelings do not equate facts. You need to fact check somebody and something. You need to double check within your plan, within your person. Fact check. Because, like I said, with the cheetah energy, gather all your information of why you're running in the first place, of why you're moving in the first place. So that way you're not easily distracted. You're not just accepting anything. You're not just allowing anything. So with this, you're not ready. It's because they want you to truly be prepared to be you in this new change, in this new element. And some things will fall to the wayside. So fact checked. Check. That's from Leo. To wrap it on up, spirit, because that, yeah, commentate at the bottom again. That, yeah, you need to fact check people, and that allows you. Nobody's telling you to get rid of your feelings, but your feelings is sometimes the reaction of what the facts are. Do you catch what I'm saying? It's like when people like give somebody a gift and they're expecting them to be happy and joyous, and they're just like, oh. Don't change the fact that you gave them a gift. They don't change none of that. But their feelings does not need to match what you wanted to match. You know what I'm saying? So this week, you're gonna wake up to yourself. You're gonna clear out a lot of things, energies, the old shit. Talk to your ancestors. Do something fun. Do something amazing. Do something that allows you to recognize yourself. And like I always say, anytime you introduce yourself, no matter what you are, people are always going to ask, what's your name? What's your name? Because they want to know you. They want to get to understand you. And asking, are you a mom? Are you a dad? They ask, what's your name? What you do for work? What's your name? They always ask, what's your name? Because you, no matter what title you hold, no matter where you, it's you. And people need to start expecting you from you, but you gotta get comfortable with this new you first. Get to know you first. Take yourself out on a motherfucking date. Because you've been sitting and grieving with the old self for some time and releasing that. So, yeah. But that is your reading for the week. Take what you need what you take. I love you. Love yourself so much more. And until next time.